Go Brandon Walker. More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Here we are. I'm on the air with this ballin' MSU polo on, this Mississippi State polo, or this pullover I got, the baseball pullover. Land Shark in the building. Terp not here today. Where is Terp? Anybody know? Nate, I don't want you to talk. We're going to have to get the mic from you to her by the end of the show because she's doing the 2-minute drill today. Are you ready? Do you have the 2-minute drill ready? Okay, good. It's Hannah Mondays. My wife is here. Says Hail State. Amanda Dunaway Walker checking in the comment section. Kenny Manning is here. Jason Brinson. Hello, Jason. What's good, fam? Hail State from Aberdeen, says Wayman Hodge. Hail State, Daniel Martin. I am looking good up here. Thank you very much. Good morning. It's a beautiful day in Sulligent, Lynn Rhodes Gilmore. Beautiful day here in Atlanta outside the SEC Country Studios. Landshark, we do have to talk about one thing. How about what's his air conditioner situation in here like? I'm getting warm. Nothing? Nobody's going to talk to me? All right. Hail State from Gulfport, Guy Dawsett. Hail State from Starkville, Kevin Wiltshire. Christopher Agent, hello. Hail State from Fayetteville, Arkansas, Sherry Ainsworth Ricks. Hail State from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, Melva Allen. God, I love Fort Walton Beach. Miss it so much. Hail State from Hernando, Pensacola, Jeff Keys. Little Rock, Arkansas, Lindsay A. Kimbrew. Greenville, South Carolina, that's where Harrison Golson is. Harrison Golson from Point City, I believe. Ugliest baseball I've seen in a while. Results in a series win. I'll take it, says Drew Newell. Hail State from Flowood, Mississippi, Trey Adcock. Florence, the Delta checking in from Mandy Fowler. Alabama, Derek Myers. Millington, Tennessee, that's where Cordell Moore is checking in this morning. Okay, on today's show, Leo Lewis got arrested. When it happened, I was concerned. Then I looked to find out what he got arrested for, and then I yawned and I went to sleep. But it caused the biggest celebration. It caused the biggest celebration in Oxford in years. In absolute years. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about baseball going to Alabama this weekend and taking 2 out of 3. A sweep would have been nice. Didn't get it, but got 2 out of 3. Still on track to make a regional. Still an impressive performance by this team. They keep fighting. They keep battling. They keep scrapping. They keep doing whatever they can do to stay alive, and that's good. That's good. Third topic today. Well, you want to give them a little preview of what the third topic might be with the music there? Have you got the music ready? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So that tells you what topic number 3 is going to be. If you've watched the show before, you know what that means. A lot of you love that little segment that we do. Haven't done it very much lately, but we're going to do it today. And it is a doozy. It is definitely a doozy. Let's go a couple more minutes before we wrap this up. We'll also have Landshark with the 2-minute drill today. She is taking care of the 2-minute drill on Mondays, so I don't have to. So I'm excited about that. Hail State from the Big D, says Ryan Wesley Lawrence. I assume that's Dallas. Could be Detroit. Probably Dallas, though. Almost nodded off there, Steve C. Yes. Martin Smith, first time I get to see a bedtime story live. Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited. We all remember our first bedtime story, don't we? Is the bedtime segment going to be on the whole LeBron junk you've been arguing, says Jay Hammers? No, we're not doing LeBron on this show. This is a Mississippi State show. Hail State from Pontotoc, James Mask. Hello, James. How are things in Pontotoc County today? Or Pontotoc City? How many towns in Mississippi and counties have the same name? Like Pontotoc is the county seat of Pontotoc County. Grenada, the county seat of Grenada County. I think. That might be wrong. Is Grenada County? I don't know. Pontotoc for sure. Think about that. What do you think, Nate? Nate, I'm going to have somebody to talk to, so you're going to have to talk to me. Can't hear a word you're saying. Hail State from the Big Island of Hawaii. Richard Rife. Richard Rife, you move around a lot. You must be on vacation. Checking us out on vacation. That is, let me hear you.
Hi, Brandon.
Hello, Nate. How are you?
Alive.
Good. What was the question? Nate, keep your mic up before you talk.
The question was that it seems like all the small counties have the same name as the city.
Huh. Calhoun City, the county seat of Calhoun County. Quitman, Mississippi, the city, nowhere near Quitman County, Mississippi.
That
So,
can be confusing.
so if you think you're right there, then you need to quit, man. Boy. Anyway, we're going to talk about Leo Lewis getting arrested. We'll talk about Pat Austin, the recruiting coordinator for Mississippi State, moving on. Then maybe that creates opportunity for somebody to come home. Chad Bumphus, maybe it creates an opportunity for somebody to, come back to Starkville. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the baseball team, and then we'll have a bedtime story, and then we'll do the 2-minute drill from Landshark. That is a fun day, a fun Monday. Nate, I'm ready for my music.
It's the More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
That's me, Brandon Walker. More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast, presented by SEC Country. We are coming to you from the SEC Country studios in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. So nice outside, such a beautiful day. It's nice in here in the studios, even though they won't turn the air conditioner on for me. I'm going to work through it. I also chose a poor day to wear this beautiful maroon Mississippi State baseball polo that I got from Maroon & Company. It is a fantastic pullover. It's what the coaches wear, but it is hot in here right now, and I'm trying to fight through it. Maroon & Company, check it out. I got this lefty bell from Maroon & Company. That's not it at all. This is the lefty bell over. I didn't ring the bell, did I? We are rung in here on a Monday. Got this lefty bell from Maroon & Co. Got this bell from Maroon & Co. Maroon & Company in Starkville. Hey, Mother's Day is coming up. If you're like me, you're shopping for Mother's Day, and you're trying to get something nice, Maroon & Company, the great place to do it. On Highway 12, behind Chick-fil-A in Starkville, and Maroon & Co. You can go to Instagram. Shop directly from Instagram on Maroon & Co. Check them out on Instagram, at Maroon & Co. on Twitter, maroonandco.com. Now, Leo Lewis got arrested. That's a fact. Leo Lewis got arrested. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about baseball. We're going to talk about Pat Austin, the recruiting coordinator for Mississippi State, apparently moving on. Maybe that creates opportunity. We might have a bedtime story at the end of the show. And then we'll have a 2-minute drill provided by Landshark. She'll have the questions today on Landshark 2-minute drill Monday. I don't know why I name everything. Anyway, I'm going to dive right into it. Leo Lewis is one of the most polarizing players in Mississippi. Why is he one of the most polarizing players in Mississippi? Because he took money from Ole Miss boosters. He signed with State. Ole Miss got in trouble, and they blame all of their troubles on him. Now, whatever. But Leo Lewis plays for Mississippi State, played very well as a redshirt freshman, played last year, is going to be good this year. The other night, I think it was Thursday night, Leo Lewis got arrested. And immediately, I think, oh, no, not Leo. Not Leo. Anybody on the team get arrested but Leo. Anybody on the team, because this is going to be a statewide story. People are going to be so excited. And Leo, you're a good player. Please don't have – I hope he hasn't done anything that jeopardizes his season. I hope he hasn't done anything serious. And then the charges come out. And you look at it, and I immediately go, really? That's what he got arrested for? People are getting arrested for that these days. Leo Lewis, apparently, at one of these big apartment complexes there was a party. Cops were dispersing people, and when they were trying to direct traffic out of the parking lot, Leo Lewis drove the other way, and he got arrested for it. Thank God we're getting this scourge off the streets. Thank God things are safe. Now, I don't want to make light of anybody getting arrested. I don't know what happened there on the scene, and maybe Leo Lewis said something he shouldn't have said. Maybe he acted the way he shouldn't have acted. But on the surface, it certainly looks like nothing. It looks like nothing. But that's not really the issue here. That's not really the issue. Leo Lewis getting arrested, that'll get taken care of. It's an opportunity for Joe Moorhead to put his stamp on the team. It's an opportunity for him to show guys, what happens if you get arrested, what happens if you put yourself in a bad spot. I don't know if it's running more. I don't know if he'll be suspended for 5 minutes. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. That's up to Joe Moorhead, and I trust it'll get taken care of. But the absolute joy that Leo Lewis's arrest elicited out of Oxford and the other SEC fan base in this state was amazing. Absolute, pure, unfiltered joy, fueled by rage that Leo Lewis is the one that did all this to them when they did it to themselves. Leo Lewis didn't pay himself from the boosters' pockets. Leo Lewis didn't meet himself at undisclosed locations to get money from boosters. Leo Lewis wasn't texting himself from boosters' phones. But Leo gets arrested, and Leo is the enemy. Leo is what caused everything bad to happen in Oxford over the last decade or so. None of that's true, obviously. None of that's true. But go on Twitter. Go on Twitter and look at Ole Miss media guys that claim not to be fans that make snide comments about Leo getting arrested. Go look at anywhere. Go look at Leo Lewis's timeline. The next time you're talking to an Ole Miss fan and they say state fans are obsessed, I want you to direct them to Leo Lewis's Twitter timeline and look at what Ole Miss fans say to that guy on Twitter. The way they treat him, the names, the absolute obsession, the absolute stalkiness. I just made that a word. That Leo Lewis has to endure because he told the truth about getting paid by Ole Miss boosters. It's just amazing to me. It is amazing. And when Leo Lewis got arrested, I knew what was going to happen. I knew it would be a party in Oxford. The fact that it was Leo Lewis made it statewide news. It was the biggest win for Ole Miss fans in years. Years. They were ecstatic. It was like Christmas. I've never seen anything like it. Their message boards lit up. Their Twitter lit up. Everything. And it's just so it is just, they act like Mississippi State exists in a world that they don't inhabit. They act like Mississippi State is obsessed with them. The complete opposite is true. Ole Miss fans, everything they do is predicated on Mississippi State. Everything they think about their institution, they are mighty Ole Miss and little brother is little brother, and that ain't true. And Leo Lewis got paid by Ole Miss. He didn't get you in trouble. You got you in trouble. He got arrested the other night. He'll pay a $100 fine. He'll be playing in week 1. He'll have a good season. And come bowl time, you'll be sitting at home wondering, why did Leo do this to us? It's a tough life. Pat Austin leaving Mississippi State. Pat Austin going to the NFL. Pat Austin, the recruiting coordinator. Let's see what his official title is. His official title is Director of Recruiting Communications / Recruiting Coordinator. That sounds really fancy. That's way too many words for that title. How about just recruiting coordinator? He's really sets up visits, sets up official visits, hooks up our coaching staff with players from Mississippi. Kind of is the handshake guy in the middle there. It's a very important job. Very important job. All right. I don't know if we're coming through, but I'm going to keep acting like we are. So Pat Austin leaving for the NFL. Pat Austin not going to be at Mississippi State anymore, but I'm not really worried about Pat Austin. He former head coach at Callaway. He's been doing things, whatever. He's gone. Now, it creates an opportunity. Joe Moorhead has created a new coaching staff. It's recruiting well. Everything is going very well. But I think this makes a lot of sense to bring someone back, to bring someone back home. I think in this position, recruiting coordinator, you need somebody with Mississippi ties. You need somebody who knows how to get you into Picayune High School. You need somebody who knows how to get you into Provine High School. You need somebody who knows how to get you into Olive Branch High School. You need somebody with Mississippi ties who can schmooze, who can do everything he needs to do. I think a former player would work just fine. I think Chad Bumpus would be good for this role. I think Jonathan Banks would be good for this role. I'm anxious to see what happens here because recruiting coordinator is a very key position in 2018 college football. And Chad Bumpus is out there in Utah, doing a grad assistant thing for his second year. Jonathan Banks is right there in Starkville, Mississippi. I feel like we could take advantage of what Mullen did. And Mullen had some great players, had some great Mississippi players, put some players in the NFL. I believe we could go to that pool and get a pretty good spot, get a pretty good guy for that spot. Baseball goes to Tuscaloosa. Michael Wright on Facebook Live says, I thought you wanted the job. No. Well, I mean, yeah, sure, I would take it, but I wouldn't be qualified. I would not be qualified. I couldn't go into high schools in Mississippi. I'm way too big of a Point City homer. If I went into Hattiesburg High School, I'd wear a T-shirt with the score of the state championship game last year. Couldn't do it. So baseball goes into Tuscaloosa. They needed to sweep, but they really needed to win the series. A sweep would have been very, very nice. Didn't get it. Alabama played, I guess, well. The first two games very tight, one-run games, and yesterday was tight as well. It was a very close series, probably closer than State should have let it be. But ultimately, State wins 2 games. And now they're coming down the stretch, and they've got 2 very difficult series left. They've got Troy in a non-conference. They've got Florida at home to end the season. They've got Kentucky on the road. Kentucky and Florida, both very good teams. Florida, the best team in the country by a long shot. You're going to need to beat Florida at least once. But, looking at it, I think 3-4 probably gets you safely in a regional coming down the stretch. And going to a regional for this team, I think is pretty good. It's pretty good considering all that happened early with Andy Cannizaro doing what he did. So I don't know if this team can't win the College World Series. I don't think they can get to the College World Series. I doubt they can get to a Super Regional. But this is about the future now. So many freshmen are playing. So many freshman hitters are playing, and they're playing well. Rowdy Jordan had a big weekend. Foscue had a big weekend. These are all freshmen that are going to be part of what is to come at Mississippi State. And that's the exciting part. Everything that happens this year is building for the future, and we'll find out who is taking care of that future very, very soon when the season ends. Nate, you want to go ahead and hit that music for me? Nate. Not that music. Boy, oh boy. You want to hit my music for me? There we go. All right, everybody relax. Everybody let your mind at ease. Everybody just chill out. Right now what we're going to do is I'm going to read you a bedtime story. I'm going to read you a fairy tale, a story of fantasy, one that is not grounded in reality at all. So naturally we turn to Oxford. I mentioned Oxford earlier in the show. I'm going right back there for this bedtime story because I read something the other day. That just got my attention, and I was like, wow, I've got to read that on the show. So we go to our good friends at oldhottytoddy.com. Oldhottytoddy.com, and a visit from our good pal and friend, Jim Shute. Jim Shute writes, Ole Miss football says Vive la France, but no coaches allowed. I'm sorry, no couches allowed. Boy, I just brutalized that. So here's his story. Ole Miss football can't seem to get away from the national sports news when it comes to Shea Patterson, Jim Harbaugh, and Michigan. Nate, bump down the music volume just a little bit. Last week, Shea Patterson received notification that the NCAA ruled him eligible to play immediately at the University of Michigan. I'm sure the reporters in Ann Arbor rushed to find Shea in town to get his comments. Oh, wait! He wasn't in Ann Arbor. He was in Paris, France. Oh, he must have taken a family vacation, right? No, his family wasn't with him, but the entire Michigan Wolverine team was. Oh, boy. Michigan takes a trip overseas every year, and Jim Shute is hot about it. He does not like this. You might ask how they could afford a trip like this. Probably the millions and millions of dollars of revenue they get every year. Oh, they didn't pay for it. The University of Michigan, led by Mr. Oxford IHOP head coach Jim Harbaugh, it's a pretty good line actually, took the entire team to Paris, France. Now wait a minute. How is that not an extra benefit and an NCAA violation? Well, the NCAA justifies it by calling it educational, so it's legal according to the NCAA bylaws. You have got to be kidding me. How many schools can afford that? Probably all of them. All of them. They're not going to Mars. Not many in Division I, and certainly not the schools in the smaller conferences. So the NCAA doesn't consider that a competitive advantage? Does the NCAA not think Michigan will use this as a recruiting tool? Every SEC basketball team, by the way, or most of them, go to Europe during the summer. State went to Italy a couple of years ago. Now let's get into the meat of this. This is just another example of how incompetent and corrupt the NCAA really is. There it is. We went 2 whole paragraphs without telling how corrupt the NCAA is. Because when you investigate Ole Miss for wrongdoing, you have to be corrupt yourself. There's no way you're not corrupt. It's not like academic fraud or rampant booster involvement or coaches calling escorts or something the NCAA needs to check out. No, NCAA is corrupt. While the Michigan team was visiting the Eiffel Tower and having dinner cruises on the River Seine? Is it Seine? River Seine? Okay. Seine, excuse me. Well, makes sense if it's Seine. This is an Ole Miss story. The NCAA Committee on Infractions delivered their response to the Ole Miss appeal for the penalties they have imposed. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Nobody expected the COI, led by Xavier Athletic Director Greg Christopher, to give Ole Miss any relief. The NCAA's response reads like it was written by an 8th grader. That's ironic. While Ole Miss responded with a professional rebuttal and facts. That's right. Everybody's stupid except for Ole Miss and their lawyers. If you read the entire NCAA manual, I don't think you'll find the word facts anywhere. This is happening. I'm reading this. One of the Ole Miss violations occurred when a player slept a few nights on a coach's couch before he could get into his residence. And this, my friends, is the crux of the matter. My favorite thing that Ole Miss fans have done during this entire investigation, during this entire fiasco the last couple of years, has been to boil everything that they got in trouble for down to 2 things. They talk about, oh, we got in trouble because a player slept on a guy's couch. We got in trouble because Leo Lewis. They boil it down to 2 things. Never mind there's 28, 29 violations. Never mind there's 13 level 1 violations. Never mind there's academic fraud. There's ACT fraud. Never mind there's rampant booster problems. Never mind there are text messages from boosters to recruits. Never mind that recruits were doing anything they pleased around the presence of boosters. Never mind that the coaching staff was paving the way for that to happen. Never mind that the last coach got fired because he was calling escorts. No, we're in trouble because a recruit slept on a couch. No, you're not. No, you're not. That was one minuscule violation in a pile of violations. You guys were dirty. You got caught. You got in trouble. You didn't get the punishment you deserved, but you got punished. Deal with it. I'm sure that couch wasn't as comfortable as the soft beds in whatever luxurious hotel the Michigan team stayed in Paris. Maybe the Ole Miss player should have told the NCAA that he was going to get into the furniture business so the couch surfing could be deemed legal by the NCAA as educational, and Laramie Tunsil should have said he was going to get the automobile business, specifically in the loaner car department. No, Laramie Tunsil should have signed with Georgia. That's what Laramie Tunsil should have done. I can't read that anymore. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Land Shark, are you ready? We're going to do a 2-minute drill. I'm going to try to transition from the bedtime story. They always get me mad. I just can't. It's not because a player slept on a couch. It's because you changed ACTs in Waynesboro. It's because your boosters were treating players like the boosters were an ATM machine. It's everything. It was a ton of stuff. It wasn't a couch. Anyway. Landshark, hi. How are you? Good. Turn her up. You good?
Hey, me here.
Oh, there's Landshark. Okay. All right, so we got Landshark on the camera. 2-minute drill, 5 random questions at the end of the show. We'll try to go quickly. Landshark, number 1.
Okay, number 1.
Yes.
If you had to pick, this is my Mississippi State question.
All right.
If you had to pick an unofficial mascot like the Rebels land shark or Auburn's
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
For Mississippi State, what would it be?
Well, first of all, I would not pick an unofficial mascot because land shark is not a thing. It's not a real animal, and it's stupid. If I had to pick one, though, if you made me pick one, I don't know the answer to that question. I guess it's a pretty good question. I don't.
Did I just stump you?
You
for the
did
first
kind of
time
stump me.
ever?
You did kind of stump me. But we're the Bulldogs. Why do we need a secondary mascot?
Just if you had to have one.
We had to have one. I don't know, the Rose Bowls. I'll go with the Rose Bowls. We'll just have like flowers, yeah, something like that. Somebody says a cow, a tornado,
Ooh, I like a cow. That's good.
a dancing cowbell. You know what? It could be the cowbells. It could just be Could I have a dancing cowbell?
Can't you think of anything more creative?
Number 2.
Okay, this one's good. What would be the worst buy one get one free sale of all time?
What would be the worst buy one get one free sale of all time? What would be the worst buy one get one free sale of all time? Like something that okay. What do you need to buy though? Like, okay, all right. Do you have any ideas on this one? Let's see if anybody's.
Everyone's bringing Ole Miss into this.
The colonoscopy, a buy one get one free colonoscopy. That's pretty
actually
good.
Great.
That's
actually
pretty
great.
good. A vasectomy, buy one get one free vasectomy. Those are two great answers. Ole Miss season tickets, says Candy Solis Williams.
These are good.
Caskets, buy one get one free caskets. That is pretty good. Rocky Mountain oysters, flu shots.
See, I was looking for stuff like this, like flu shot.
Yeah,
You know, everyone always brings Ole Miss into
that's
it.
fine. Move to number 3.
Okay, number 3. What's the weirdest thing you've seen someone do while driving?
We're keeping this G-rated.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, weirdest thing. So I don't know. Obviously, putting on makeup is weird, but it happens like way more often than it should. The weirdest thing I've ever seen somebody do while driving, probably stand outside the car. I've seen a guy like doing a trick, and he's going down the road, and then he like steps outside. Ghost riding? Okay, that's weird. That's stupid. You shouldn't do that. Put lipstick on. Reading a newspaper? That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, I've seen people in Atlanta traffic watching their phone. Like not texting.
Not even paying attention.
Like watching a show. Like if you were watching this show right now, there might be people right now riding down that road in Mississippi watching this show.
I hope not.
I hope not either, because this has not been a good show. Number 4.
This is kind of G-rated, but I did see a man with his underwear drying.
He was drying his underwear.
Drying his underwear up on the
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah.
vent. Very, very strange. Okay. What is something that's really popular now, but you'd be embarrassed by in 5 years?
The More Cowbell Show, hosted by Brandon Walker. What is something that's popular now that you'll be embarrassed by in 5 years? It's got another good question. A great question. Popular now, 5 years. Will not be. It's usually a TV show, right? Or something that you watch or you do. Like remember a couple years ago when everybody played Pokemon Go for like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden nobody played it anymore.
I played it.
Tattoos is a good thing. Skinny jeans. Vaping. Nate, you vape, don't you? You look like you do. You look like somebody that would vape. Man buns. I think that's the
that's a good
single
one.
worst
That's a good
hairstyle.
one.
That's the worst hairstyle. Men's skinny jeans. Skinny jeans. Yeah, skinny jeans seems to be winning here. All right, number 5, please. Let's get through this.
Okay. I feel like we've talked about this one, but I'm really passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no to pineapple on pizza? I'm hungry, so.
You were hungry. Okay. Yes or no to pineapple on pizza? I am going to go with a hard no for me, but it does not offend me if you like pineapple on your pizza. I don't understand why people say no, pineapple should never be on pizza. I don't like it. I'm not going to eat it. But if you want pineapple on your pizza, go ahead. Put whatever on your pizza you want. Put beef jerky on your pizza. Put bubble gum on your pizza. I don't care. What does it matter to me? Put chocolate ice cream on your pizza. Are you a pineapple on pizza gal?
Oh, yes.
Now, will you eat? Okay, let's say we're ordering pizza tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting pineapple on your pizza every time or just special occasion?
Occasionally, but most of the time.
Most of the
I
time.
don't always get
All right, let's say you get home and your husband says, sorry, I didn't cook dinner for you tonight. I'm sorry. Or your fiance. And he says, let's order pizza. What is your order?
Our order is 1 large pepperoni with half banana peppers. I have to have banana peppers, but I do love pineapple. Banana peppers and ranch is a must on pizza.
Okay. All right. Let's say, put yourself on camera. Let's say bye one last time. All right. That was Landshark for the last time ever doing the 2-minute drill. That was garbage. That was just fantastic. All right. Let's get out of here on the podcast. Hopefully it works on iTunes today. On the podcast, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Steve C says, no pizza on my Dave's Dark Horse Cracker Crust pizza. I'm reheating for lunch. Or no pineapples, I think. Why is she on your show again, Garrett Weaver? Well, she's a nice gal. She's trying. We're trying to break her in, get her some opportunities in this business. And plus Terp's not here today. She did great, says Candy Solis Williams. Candy Solis Williams said you did great, Landshark. Last time ever, we'll hold you to that, says Bill Anderson. Bill Anderson has never been on the Landshark bandwagon. He has never been on it. Nate has apparently been trained at the Terpity Terp School of Engineering Excellence. That is fantastic.
He's my mentor.
Tells you a lot right there, doesn't it?
Even though I'm 3 or 4 years older than him.
Houston Everett says Landshark is intelligent. Kevin Vanderford says Landshark is pretty. All right. I guess 50-50 ain't bad. I've warned you about letting Landshark have the microphone. Pineapple and raisins are good in fried rice, too? No, Candy Solis Williams, no. Fried rice, no. Raisins? I don't want raisins in anything. Raisins don't belong in anything. Raisins don't even belong in boxes of raisins. I do not, no. Back in the day, my mom used to make poppy seed chicken. Probably my favorite dish that my wife made. You're not from the South. Does poppy seed chicken exist where you're from? No. So poppy seed chicken is, I don't know how to describe it. Everybody here knows what I'm talking about. But one day, she decided, hey, I've been making it this way for years and years and years, and my son loves it. I'm going to start putting almond slivers in it. And apparently she liked it. But no, don't put raisins or almond slivers or pineapple or anything. Food is food. It's good. You don't have to put raisins or almonds in it. I love poppy seed chicken. Can we talk some football now, says Dana Selzy. We talked about it heavily at the beginning of the show and during the middle. We can talk football. If you have a football question, please give it to me. I'll just take your questions and comments right now. Raisinets, best candy ever, says Daniel Martin. I'm not sure about that. I don't know that Raisinets are candy. They're raisins. Bonnie Williamson Gable says, I'm sure Nate is a nice person, but I love and miss Terp. Well, first of all, Nate is not a nice person. Nate's terrible. Terp also quite terrible.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Pineapple sherbet is good. Hey Dad said on his show he saw a tweet where an Ole Miss fan hoped Leo was sodomized in jail. Well, that's the first time I've ever used that word on this show. Yeah, the tweets to Leo. If you really ever have time, go back and look and see what people say to Leo Lewis on Twitter. It's unbelievable. It'll make you worry about the future of the human race. What food should be added to the concession menu at Davis Wade Stadium? Candy Solis Williams. Good question. Good question. Go ahead, Nate.
I've been wondering if there are any Starkville police watching the show, or any campus police who can shed more light on the situation.
So it was not. I know what you're saying. It wasn't Starkville Police. It wasn't Campus Police. It was Octavia Hall County Sheriffs. I don't know if we have any deputies watching. I doubt we do. But if they did, I'd love to hear it. But I don't know. You know, at the end of the day, Leo got arrested for going the wrong way when being directed to go this way. He went that way. So I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a big deal to me. It's embarrassing to him. It's embarrassing to state, but it's pretty much over now. How do you think our receivers will do this year? Kevin Vanderford. I think they'll be better. I think they will be better. I don't know how good they are yet. I think Guidry will be the number one guy. I don't know about Devontae Jason, being the number two yet. Austin Williams is a name I didn't expect to be as excited about as I am. But yeah, I think those feel like to me the top three newcomers for Mississippi State at receiver, and I think they'll definitely be better. Guidry is going to be the biggest difference maker by far. He says Starkville strangely, says Martin Smith. I don't think he said Starkville strangely. Say Starkville.
I said Starkville and not Starkville, like you say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you said it wrong, man.
Starkville.
No.
Starkville.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Dan McDonald needs to hire Will Bolt from Texas A&M as hitting coach, says Houston Everett. Wow, Houston Everett has already hired Dan McDonald as our new head coach, which would be nice. It would be really nice. Comment on Heath's situation, and then Anthony Covington says Heath going JUCO. I believe Malik Heath will not be at Mississippi State in the fall. It's not 100% sure yet. Hasn't been reported fully, but it looks like it is headed that way. Who has the best season next year in basketball, women or men, says Wayman Hodge. I would say women, but it's close. I think both are going to be really good. But it's easier to get through the women's tournament than it is the men's tournament. There's much more parity on the men's side. The top seeds in the women's bracket usually hold up. Very few upsets. So I think State's a top 8 to top 12 team in women's basketball next year. And they're probably going to go to the Sweet 16 before it really gets tough. I don't know that the men, I can't make the guarantee that the men are going to get the Sweet 16. Hail State from Marietta, Georgia, Jackson Waddell. Blake Boswell says, if Starkville was known for growing potatoes, would it be known as Starchville? Let me tell you something, Blake. All right. The quota for guys who make ridiculous, stupid, corny jokes on this show is 1, and it's been met, okay? I make the stupid jokes around here, but that was really funny. Make sure everyone in Oxford is blah, 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 blah. Did the Texas A&M transfer pick a school yet? Wayman Hodge, no, she hasn't. Or she might have picked it. She hasn't made it public. Hello from Abilene, Texas. Hello, Eric Burks. Notice ESPN has us picked higher than Auburn in post-spring football. Daniel Martin. Yeah, so Auburn had a couple of receiver injuries, and they're worse at receiver than we are. They're not good at receiver, and they had a couple of ACL injuries in the spring that are big time. Eli Stove, their best wide receiver, ACL injury. So it's kind of, Auburn doesn't have the weapons. They have the quarterback, and they have the defense, but their offensive line's a question mark. Their running backs are a question mark. Their receivers are a question mark. And they have more questions than State does. They had a better year last year, so they're put up above Mississippi State, and they have better name value. But, if you look at the teams, I think more check marks go to Mississippi State than go to Auburn. Enjoyed the show. The lady did a good job. Love you guys. Hail State, Kosciuszko, Starkville. Christopher Nash. Well, that's nice. Called you a lady. That is nice. Hello from Clearwater, Florida. Biggest argument I've ever gotten into. Biggest argument I've ever gotten to at this job. We a lot of sports writers here, a lot of guys, and about 6 o'clock in the day, we just talk sports or we talk random things. The biggest argument I've ever gotten to out there is with a guy named Andrew Astleford. And Andrew doesn't know what he's talking about because he said, somebody said, what's the best beach in Florida? I said, it's going to be around that 30A area in Destin or Sandestin, east of there, Seagrove Beach, Grayton Beach, all of those are going to be the nicest beaches in Florida. And he said Clearwater Beach is the nicest beach in Florida. He doesn't know what he's talking about. There's too many people down there. Do you see another stadium expansion for DWS in the future, Blake Boswell? Yeah, I think eventually in the next 10 years, where the building is now will be bowled in around the building, or the building will be gone and be bowled in there. I would think that's too much, but I think eventually you're going to have some sort of bowling around that building. That's what I think. Hello from River City, Vicksburg, Shirley Williams. Bill Hurt says the baseball job already been decided. Would be shocked if it's not Dan McDonnell. Certainly that's one of the names that are out there. I do think Cohen has this guy. I think all indications are that the hire has been made unofficially. We just have to wait to find out. Go above the field house? I don't know about going above the field house. I don't know that there's any room to go above the field house. Because you already got the Jumbotron up there. You would have to put people way up in the air, and that ain't happening. I don't think you can go above the field house. I don't know what you can do. I don't know what you can do on that south end. North end. South end. South end, yeah, for sure, south end. They should do angled upper decks on the shoe end like the Eagles Stadium. Well, I haven't seen the Eagles Stadium, but they're going to have to get creative with that gigantic building there. They're going to have to definitely get creative. Above the field house, but move the screen. It's still going to be really, really crappy seating. I don't know if that's worth adding. I mean, the building's 2 or 3 stories tall. It's just, you're talking about the first row of seats starting up there? The Tron can be moved. Yeah, it can be moved, but where are you going to put it? If you put seating above the building and then you put the Tron above the building, the Tron's going to be way up in the air. It doesn't make sense. Brandon, for $5 million, would you take a 102-mile-per-hour pitch to the Stones like Yadier Molina did? Well, Yadier was wearing a cup, so I get to wear a cup, right? So he took a 102-mile-an-hour fastball, right? I
mean, even with a cup, it's not going to feel good.
It's not going to feel good, no. But $5 million?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, I would do that for $5 million.
It's going to put your 4, maybe 5 kids through college. And then you probably won't have any more kids. That's not a bad thing.
Well, no, I got that 2-for-1 vasectomy deal. I got the buy one get one free vasectomy.
Can I have the second one?
Oh God, yes. You can have the first one. He had to have surgery. I mean, $5 million though. Probably going to tear down the building. Just announced on Hail State we're building a new locker room and recruiting lounge in the north end. Yeah, we'd have to. I don't know. I do question the wisdom of building that solid of a building on one end. If you ever thought you were going to expand in the future, but I guess that might have been. I don't want to get into that. Brandon has 12 kids already. He should be done. 13 actually. 13 kids.
That you're aware of.
That I'm aware of. Yes.
Sorry, Mrs. Walker.
I don't think she's here anymore. All right, Landshark, how you doing? You good? You ready? Ready to wrap it up? Okay. Back then, we did not expect the success. Well, that's foolish then. You should always expect success. You should always plan for success. Even if you don't meet it, you should plan for it. I don't like that excuse at all. Now, maybe you didn't think even with success you'd have a stadium that you need to go to 70 or 80, and maybe we don't. I don't know. But aesthetically, I think some sort of bowling in on that end would make a lot of sense. All right, good stuff. Landshark, thanks. You did a decent job. Nate, we'll talk after the show. Until next time, I'll be here tomorrow, 10:45 Central Time. Please tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everybody you know. My name is Brandon Walker. You've been watching More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.